celebrating the power of sisterhood and friendship. The Elijah Sisters is a weekly talk variety show. Hosted by real-life sisters Leah, Chantilly, and Angelique Elijah, this dynamic trio has hit the airwaves, sharing their incredible bond through candid conversations about everyday life, personal experiences, and select topics. The Elijah Sisters will empower and inspire women of all ages. They'll spill the tea on the latest news and trending topics, beauty and fashion, fitness, ministry, personal finance, and relationships. Plus, feature interviews with special guests and so much more. This is more than just your typical talk show. It's time well spent with your besties. Watch The Elijah Sisters and let our family become your family.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Elijah Sisters podcast. It is so great to be with you all. We are here at the end of April. I cannot believe we are 4 months into the year and literally almost into May. This year is going by, I would say so fast, but I'm tempted to say too fast. We're just about into the 5th month. And so we are here. We have also missed you all. We've had a couple weeks off taking care of some business. And so we could not wait to be with here to chit chat and have some fabulous moments with you all and some great conversation. So we are just excited to be with you all. And we hope that you have missed us as much as we have missed you. I have missed you all bunches. And first of all, I want to say, because it just matters to me, please forgive me for not looking as flawless and fabulous.
Please ignore everything she's saying.
Please forgive me. I feel like I've been whooped up on with a not so fabulous thing, but I literally just walked in from being in the air since 7:05 this morning and 2 time zones away. So I did not want to let my sisters down or you all down. So I came right in to be on the air with you all because you're my friends and I wanted to be with you all and get on with the show. So I'll have the beat face and the lashes on for y'all next week. Now you'll just have to just accept my warm, bubbly personality, because gonna have to look at one of my pictures and imagine that so at the moment. So having said that, I have been here and there and to and fro for the last 7 days.
Have you been hither and thither?
Hither and yon. Angelique and Chantilly, how the heck have you been?
Oh, goodness. I was so excited about, I still am, let me rephrase it. I was so excited about the new project I have at work because they was like, oh, you're going to be writing. So I have never written so much in so little time in my entire life. By the time Thursday ended, I was like, I don't want to look at a document. I don't want to look at nothing I have to type. I don't even want to text. I don't even want to text nobody. I don't want to write hi. I don't want to do nothing.
Oh, why you haven't been talking to me? Thank you. Now I know.
I have to write 3 different things, ad copies that are over 1,300 words each in a week. So it's like, and then I have to research what I write. So I'm like, my brain is like, words and typing. No, thank you. Hard by Thursday, I'm just like hard pass. But I do love the feeling when I'm done and then I like go see like what they fixed, and when it's like hardly anything that they've had to fix. I'm like,
right.
It makes me feel like so proud. Like, okay, I did it. Okay, I did a good job. So
yeah,
it is helping me stretch my writing brain and stuff like that. Even though that's not necessarily creative writing, it's ad copy. But I'm like, it is making me want to write more because I see I can write in a short amount of time with significant, writing. So that's, that's something new I found out about myself that I've been enjoying.
All right, Miss Madman, you go ahead and do it.
And
All right. Did you ever watch that show? I was
no,
absolutely obsessed with that
like
show. I
I knew
really
like when I was interested in watching it, it was already well into it. I'm like, I've missed too much. Like I've missed
gotta.
too much to even catch
Well,
up.
it's off the air, and you can pleasantly binge watch it. And I let's confess, I have binge watched it 3 times.
Where
it's,
is it? Where is it?
it's on Tubi and Freevee. I know.
Okay, I might check that up. Put that on my vid. There's so many things on my list.
It's
I
got John
mean,
Hamm. How could you not watch
I
it?
mean, it's John Hamm.
John Hamm.
It's the hamster.
All things John Hamm.
Yeah.
But it is really, really good. And what's the red the I hate to do people like that, but the redhead from Good Girls, she's
I
in
know.
it.
I always forget her. Like honestly, I'm bad with names in real life because
Yeah,
I'm like, unless I have to remember somebody's name, I'll have to hear it. So I'm like, I know who you're talking about,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
just
But she's
can't
in it.
place who I'm talking about. You're talking about the older sister? No, no, no,
The older
the older
sister.
sister.
Yeah,
Because I thought she went blonde
the
later in the show.
mastermind.
But yeah, the older, yeah, she's amazing. She's an amazing actress. And
Yeah.
this is on a real note, and like Mom and I even talked about it with her and Good Girls. I loved that they did not try to make her chest look smaller, make her
Thank
body
you.
look smaller. She looked like a grown woman
Hmm.
who has had kids, live life, and still look good. And they did not try to make her look like a little teeny little supermodel thing. And I just was like, I'm looking at real bodies in these all the women, all the lead
Yeah.
women. And
All
of
right,
course,
Chantilly, I see
look
you.
at him. And I ain't gonna lie, I know he was the villain, but I just was like, I like looking at him, and look, he's
Girl, don't even
What
say
was
it.
his
Don't
name?
do it.
Oscar?
Yes, Lord.
when that man, when I first watched the first season, he came back, I was like, I was like, I see why she fell now. I see why she was caught up now. I see, I can see why.
I'm happy to know that he's happily married.
Yes, we've been married for a while. We've been married for a while.
Bless it. Bless it.
I think the last thing I did binge was Agent Elvis. I did not know I was gonna like it as much as I did.
It's in my queue. It's in my queue, but I haven't gotten to it yet.
I did not. I was like, this show is ridiculous. And it has the nerve to have a backstory. I'm over here trying to figure out and see what's going on. He got like a Wolverine backstory where he's like his brain was messed with. I'm just like, what is Priscilla?
I'm thinking that's too much for me.
It's I mean, if you like Archer, you'll like this.
Okay. I like
If you like Archer, if you can handle and you like Archer, if Archer is like, if you're a person that's like Archer is too much, it's too much, it's too, don't watch it. But Matthew McConaughey, he did a great Elvis.
I love all things McConaughey.
Even though every time he would say certain lines, all I can hear is all right, all right, all right.
All right.
But he did a really good Elvis. But that's just some of the stuff I've been doing on my times off, my weeks.
So Chantilly, how have you been this week?
This week we've been all right.
Oh no!
My mind was fighting with my mouth just now.
not your heart, your mind, and your soul, your spirit, and your flesh, and your body. Light it up, light it up.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
You say that confession, girl. You say that confession.
All right.
You confess your confession. What about? Have you been doing anything like outside of? I know you're always working, but like what have you been doing like outside of that? Like what have you been up to? What's happened? What's popped off?
Just that working and making sure the kids got one more month of school left, and then it's summer break, so we just making sure we got everything straight to finish strong. That's about it. That's all I can do right.
Do you plan? Because I know they're homeschool them, which I mean your kids insanely intelligent. Like that homeschool is doing them well. But like, do you like plan like stuff to keep them occupied since they're not gonna like through the summer, or do you just kind of just let them burn off kitty steam during the summer?
They usually work on their businesses more during the summer.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, Shawty over here talking. Oh no, they work on their DBAs.
They're entrepreneurs.
They FBAs, DBAs, LLCs. They now her kids do have businesses. That's what
They
I'm saying.
do.
Like if you've ever had conversations with all her kids, or with the ones that will, because one of them talks to you, but will shut down on camera if she's too shy. But like I mean, they brains, they minds, like they not just kids that's just saying stuff. They ain't talking about lemonade stands. So I'm very about. Yes, I brag on my nieces and nephews like I had something to do with it. I will claim it. They got the genes. They came from somewhere.
Preciousness.
All of them, even the grown ones. Everything they do, something like, yeah, that's my niece. I had a part in that somehow. They know.
Well, I had a really good trip to Colorado. It was the best trip I've had. I have an announcement I'm going to share later. I don't want to share it just yet, but a lot of great things came from my trip there. But I will tell you about my flight home.
Let's redact some names. Let's redact names.
I want to talk to you about a young lady I met on my way home. She's 3 years old. I did get to talk to her on the plane because I ended up having to talk to her on the plane.
That's how they roll.
Airport. We're gonna call her Cindy Lou Hughes.
Not Cindy Lou.
Names have been changed to protect the innocents. We're gonna call her Cindy Lou Hughes.
All right, Dragnet.
And a little bit of Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, little Dr. because she's 3.
Right.
Cindy Lou was in the airport with her mom, and her mom was just calling her and calling her and calling. There's too many callings for me, number one. And as y'all know, my children are adults. So, and then Chantalee has 4 children. And I'm looking at, my head was down first. I was, texting, and so I'm thinking, I'm hearing this name. I'm hearing Cindy Lou, Cindy Lou, Cindy Lou, Cindy Lou, Cindy Lou. And the mom was just saying, come here. And a little girl, sometimes, especially like in the airport, kids can be distracted. So it can be
overstimulus, overwhelmed.
Like maybe she's not hearing. The little girl just standing there, just refusing to come, like literally feet planted, and she was just, no, I'm not. And my mother insides was like,
Did it go through you? Did it go all through your soul?
Girl. So I was like, let me get back in this phone because that's not my child, and this is a little bit too much. And the mom was just calling her and calling her. So then she got to where the mom went and sat down, and so she said, Cindy, come here. And the little girl looked at her and she said, no, I want to get on the plane now.
It's the no for me, dog. It's the no.
I was like,
it's the no. I can't do the no's. I just can't do the just
45.
outright no.
I've never said no to my mother to this day. And so it was, I want to get on the plane now. So the mom kept saying, I need you to come here and sit down. And the girl planted her feet again. She would come sit down, and she's demanding to get on the plane. And it was just a defiance. Look at her mother dead in the face and wouldn't come. But this is what gets me. The mother looks at Cindy Lou and she says, you're being mean to me right now. And that's just not nice. And I was like,
okay.
We're being mean to mommy? Okay, mommy.
I was like, now you're disappointing me.
Not really. Now I'm about to put you in timeout.
I was at Cindy Lou in her pretty little fur-lined coat, in her pretty little unicorn boots, in her little unicorn suitcase, and her unicorn headphones that she had on, and her unicorn iPad with the unicorn case. And I just remember thinking, you feeling real special. You got too many special things. It's making you feel ultra special.
Yeah.
And now, when I say that, people will maybe think or misunderstand and think wrong of me. But this is what I'm saying. I raised children, and all 3 of us been raised by the same person. And I just thought, If that was our mother, she would have started being like, "Oh no, give me
Well,
the little
it wouldn't have been that
bag,
many repetitions.
give me them little headphones. You know what? You can't handle the preciousness."
Go. We let you be cute and all coordinated, and now you feeling yourself. So we
Mm.
about to pare
I
this
was like,
down to your necessities. You get a hat and a coat because you need a hat and a coat. You don't need all this other stuff.
"You're not ready for the unicorn life. That ain't where you at right
No,
now."
no. You getting back to basic primary colors. Here we go.
When they got on the first time when we were boarding the airplane, she just took off and left her mom.
Ooh.
Like, and walked into the airport. So mom had to go get her. Security had to help go get her because then when she walked in the airport, she was calling her and she was like, "No," she wanted to get something to eat. It was like
Okay, I thought you wanted to get on the plane, Cindy.
a big snack stand right there. And so she told her mom just get her something to eat. The
Was
security
she? With what money?
we were boarding. Security had to go help get the girl. Then she was fighting security. She's screaming, and I was like,
She about to turn into a Karen video. This is how they
I,
born, y'all.
I
This is
wanted
how
to
they
say,
born.
oh, and let me say this: we were all the same color, which was really disappointing for me.
She still is black Karen because she getting. This is how you raise
No,
a
it's disappointing because I'm
person.
like, you need
No,
to get your child. You make me have to help get your child because I already helped Cindy Lou get it together. So
it's
we get on the plane,
no.
they're
That's
sitting in
it.
front of
No,
me. And the whole time on the plane, she's yelling at her mother, talking back to her mother, and the mother is constantly begging and pleading with her and please be quiet and please get it. When they came and they gave us the service to get a snack, she was rude to the stewardess because they brought
yeah.
we had really bad turbulence, so they
Mm-hmm.
put everything like in a basket. So they couldn't
Mm-hmm.
bring the carts down. So
Yeah.
they said, "Can do you want to choose something?" "I don't want this." And she was snatching stuff. She threw the little chip bag back at the man. And I was like, "See, you gonna make these white people see you get a little whooping up on this plane is what's gonna happen. This is you're gonna have to get yours
No,
to you know how to
ma'am.
behave." And the mom, she was like, "You getting out of hand." She was like, "Please." I was like, "It's too many pleases happening right now. Way too many pleases."
Why are you wrestling with a 3-year-old as an adult?
So finally, when we were getting off the plane,
Because it don't make her look bad, it make you look bad.
when we were deboarding, she really was out of hand. She was like trying to jump over the chairs and all this stuff. And the mom is trying to get her luggage down, the little girl's little unicorn suitcase down. So she was looking over the back of the chair at me. And I looked at her and I said, and I was like, "You know what? I can tell I'm getting older because I feel like somebody's big mama right there." Because I was like, let me help you with your child."
Really, because
At
she
the
out of
point,
control.
the other people on the plane was like, you know when the white people,
Yeah.
and it was like,
Mm-hmm. Mm. Uh-huh.
"We're on an airplane, ma'am."
So yeah.
um, so I looked at her and I said, "You're such a pretty girl." I said, "How old are you?" She said, I'm 3." And I was
Oh,
like,
okay. All right. All right.
"That's not the energy I gave you."
Reel it in, Cindy. Reel it in. Reel it in.
So I said, "You're 3." I said, "My daughter is 26." I said, "That's a lot of threes." And, I said 3 was a long time ago. And so I said to her, "I remember when my daughter was 3 years old and I would travel with her and go places with her." I said, "She was such a sweet little girl and she was helpful to me and she did all the things that I asked her to do. Just like I know you want to do with your mom and not be hard for her to get around because she's out here by herself." And she was just staring at me. And so I said to the mother, I said, "Would you mind if she came and sat down here with me while you get your stuff?" Because I was like, these people going to throw you and your child off this plane in a minute. So I'm trying to help. Now, here's the thing. She was calm with me, which tells me,
She just used to getting her own way and running wild. That's what that is. Because she know. But that's not. That's if I always look at it, if a child's doing that in public, in private, that's ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. But oh, Cindy Lou, Cindy Lou.
Cindy Lou. I was like, Lord.
I'm gonna
Lord,
need, I'm gonna need Mama to get some classes. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it don't make her look bad. She's 3. It make that's not a child issue. That's a parenting issue. Mm-mm. I'm glad I wasn't on the flight because I'd have been like, somebody come get this little girl.
Yeah, that was a lot though. I was like, okay, all right, this is a lot. This is a lot to come home to. It's one of those moments where sometimes I'm like, man, I miss when my kids were little, but my children never behave like that. Oh my gosh.
No,
I would have had
no,
to come get me from
no.
the place.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all would have got just to collect call from y'all deserve to say, go put money on my books.
Not the books.
So I don't lost it out here.
Exactly.
And go pick up your niece.
So go get this girl. Go get this. I say, come get this gal.
Remember on when cops used to be the show and women used to be wilding out, and you see the black women be like, "Yeah, I did it."
They bringing cops back.
I saw that. But anyway, so we're gonna have a moment of silence for Cindy Lou and her mom. That was my experience, and right when we were getting ready to board, like literally like 2 days before we got ready to board, this older gentleman came and sat down next to me, and within moments he was knocked out, like head reared back, mouth open, snoring, and I was like, does he understand we're boarding?
He said he know what it's about. You know, you go to travel, you go to sleep. He said they gonna do what they gonna do regardless whether he's awake or not.
Nope. Was he on the plane already?
That's all he needed to do.
He wasn't on the plane. He was not on the plane. We hadn't boarded it. Like they were calling our groups up, and I was like,
he said they didn't call my group. He said, "What we get up for? They call me."
Everybody was walking by looking at him, and I was like, I don't feel I'm supposed to wake him up. I'm not waking Pop up. So I was like,
when they called his group, did he wake up?
I went on before him, so I'm trusting that he made it.
He made it. He said, I'm gonna be right here. I'm where I'm supposed to be. They'll call. They'll get me.
Never see anybody go to sleep like that within moments, and we're bored. I've seen it when I have a long layover, but I was like, he must have had a long morning.
Some people do, because I know I'll be tired at the airport because I'm like, this is a lot. This is the most.
Airports and flying, driving can put me to sleep, but flying puts me
to sleep.
I'm going to
sleep. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to go to sleep. It's not even a question. It's yes. I will be asleep. Good night. Because with mom and I, the last trip we took, though, I took a train with mom. And I should say, not driving trip. Man, I was out. I was like, I'll see y'all, and I will wake up when we stop. We are not stopping yet. So, I got where to be. Because they stop like buses, but it's better. So, it's like, they stop to pick up people. They slow to let other stuff go. So, I'm like, they don't need my input. I woke up, here's my ticket. They asked for your ticket at a certain point in the trip. They were like, can you see your ticket? They don't need nothing else from me. They know I'm supposed to be on the train. What else they need from me? I do like trains because we had a good snack car that they even serve like breakfast in the morning, and you can get snacks throughout the night. They had cocktails down there, and some people was partaking a little bit much. Because some folks was always like, the train's not that wobbly, sir. It's not even moving that much. I feel you probably not go back down to that car no more, but do you? But so I know it was some things that you said you saw in like the news and stuff that was upcoming, China, or not upcoming, but it happened.
The first thing on my mind is, and I watched this probably like 5 or 6 times today, but James Corden, he's been on the air for 8 years doing the Late Late Show, and his last show, I think it was like yesterday or the day before yesterday, and it was a skit on there where it had all the main late night hosts, and it was hilarious. Like Jimmy Fallon was on there, Jimmy Kimmel, I don't really like him too much, but
I'm not
Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, David Letterman, Trevor Noah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
I don't
was
know why I thought it was like tonight.
hilarious.
I don't know why I
It
thought it
was
was like tonight.
Yeah, I didn't watch. I think I did watch the whole show, but that skit made everything. It made everything. So any y'all get the chance, watch that skit with it had something to do with it had something to do with it's supposed to be like a nightmare and James
Okay,
Corden. So just put James
okay.
Corden nightmare in there. You should
I
be
plan.
able
I
to.
know I wanted to watch the whole because I'm like I don't really watch a lot of late night stuff, and I don't watch James Corden
I don't
really.
really
I
either,
love
except for
James
carpool
Corden, but I
karaoke.
hadn't watched it.
Yeah, so but I did want to see his last. I was like, I already knew. I'm like, regardless of anything else about him, I knew it was gonna be entertaining. I just knew.
Hmm
So yeah, I plan to check it out. I just
Y'all
lost
gotta
my
watch
dates.
the his last carpool karaoke too with Adele because that was emotional and funny.
Okay, and okay,
Because I
okay,
didn't know
okay.
they was really friends for real.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, I did know that. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay, okay,
so that was good too.
okay. I'll check both. I'll check both of those out. That's on my list. We get off. I'll probably pull up all of that stuff.
Also, I didn't know him and Harry Styles was really friends like that
Oh,
first. So
they
I
are
guess
like BFFs. Yeah.
yeah, Harry Styles and Will Ferrell was on his last show. They was the last guest, and
Oh.
Oh, okay.
so I guess like entertainers from England. I guess he just had some type of connection with them. But yeah, it was. I never really watched James Corden like the show because I was mad Craig Ferguson left. But
Oh,
Really?
I love Craig Ferguson
I did too.
with
I
my
think James
whole
is
heart.
funnier than Craig Ferguson.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next time. It was good to see y'all again. It was nice. Have a nice night.
James Corden is entertaining.
I will give you that.
Craig Ferguson is funny.
Way funnier. Way funnier to me. Way funnier.
Agree to disagree. Thank you.
We are disagreeing. We are agreeing that you are wrong. We all agree you are wrong.
We disagree that you're right. But I did like his carpool karaoke's and like anything he has to do when he's singing. I like James Corden.
You could tell
Um,
he likes entertain more
mm,
because I was never a huge fan of like his interviewing type. Like everybody always talks about Jimmy Fallon. I'm like James Corden wasn't the best interviewer
yeah, I
either.
wouldn't even
Like
know. I wouldn't even know the judging list.
I have seen so that's something that's like he just that like he you could tell what he liked to do and that's why it
Hmm
was all over his show. It was all kind of
Yeah.
entertainment stuff, all kind of little bits, all kind of little stuff here. That was entertaining. When he had to just sit there and like interview like with
hmm
talk show,
Mm-mm.
it wasn't the best.
And so I wouldn't even know because I ain't even try to watch it. But I
Mm,
did like carpool karaoke. So I'm glad that he made this. He's well from what he's saying. I don't know what people really mean. What he's saying is he wanted to go back home, and I can understand that.
oh,
Um,
okay. You want to go back to what the UK?
yeah, he wanted to raise his kids there, and I understand
I
that.
always forget he has kids.
Yeah, one of them is American, so but yeah, his last one is American. But yeah, I understand wanting to raise you, and I think they said his parents is getting older, and what was funny on the show too, I never really heard from his parents, but his
Hmm.
parents were in the audience, and he was talking about his mom was like, will we still be able to come here because I guess it's a certain type of lip filler or collagen that she gets when she's there. And then he made a joke about it, and she was like, "Piss off!"
No, she didn't. She swore.
And
She
I
swore.
was
She swore. She swore. She swore.
she
Did she
swore.
say good afternoon to him?
I said, "Oh my gosh!" She was just laughing, and she just yelled it out.
That's what I'm saying. We're supposed to be talking about some. Oh, the British are more classy. Okay.
Okay. Good British, they let it all hang out.
The Brits are human. They got all the same stuff every other human has. They just speak a different sounding language. So
Yeah,
they
she
use
sounded
different
like
words we don't
Adele.
use.
Have you heard like Dame Judy Dench and Helen Mirren?
Yes.
And Adele just talk.
Okay. Oh, Adele. They said Adele cursed when she did SNL. They was like she cursed so much.
Yes,
She was good on there too.
They
she
said
was
she was
very
one
good
of,
on there.
they said with preparing. They said she was one of the most vulgar guests they've ever had.
See, y'all be seeing these classy British people acting and except professional stuff. Y'all acting like they don't have no other setting.
But they don't
They
also look at it like we look at it. They don't look at it like, oh, that's vile and vulgar, and they don't
okay.
look at
Yeah.
the language like we look at it. But
Mhm.
I saw a documentary with Helen Mirren and Judy Dench, and it's those four British ladies
I
that are
know
all.
the ones he talking about. I know the ones he talking
And
Yeah.
about.
I mean, I was
The
like,
ones, the ones everybody confused.
and I was like, I was like clutching my pearls watching it, like, ladies.
Some of
Well,
them
I want to
old,
see that. I
them
want to see
old
that.
British men be the same way.
Mhm.
They like what?
And it was all four of them are dames too, and I was like,
Yep.
oh,
So
Yep.
all the way to be on Ed Norton's show, Edward Norton's show.
Yep. They ain't nothing. They when they let it, they like, look, what y'all gonna do?
For real,
Like,
they paid the cost already. So
like they done got to the point where they dames and some of them dudes are knighted and all kind of stuff. They
yeah, they're
like,
served
sir,
now.
sir, yeah.
he said, what y'all gonna do? Take out the test? Okay. All right. So yeah. I do want to see that documentary because I know which ones you're talking about. I just can't remember all their names, but I do
It's
know the ones you're talking about.
it was I enjoyed every second of it, and I didn't realize those four ladies have been best friends since they were literally all teenagers. They all started doing plays together. They've all known each other since they was like 13, 14 years old. Doing shit.
Yeah. It's always fun when I hear just not even about that, but like even when I just hear actors that like I like, not necessarily newer ones because it's not the same type of circles, but like older ones, like I was about to say Henry Cavill because I was thinking Superman. That's not who I meant.
No,
I
no.
meant Christopher Reeve, and you hear like who he was connected to that I like that went to school with or was roommates with, or and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
It's like what? I didn't even know these people knew this person. It was with this like it's so many people you hear either they went to school together or they end up becoming roommates together or they went to the same workshops together because so many of them were like, I'm gonna move to New York or I'm gonna move to LA, so they just ended up running in the same circles. But it's you don't think those people would be in the same circles with other people. So I'm not surprised they knew each other. They always trying to do the same thing, so they probably was going to the same stuff.
Yeah. And all of them are dancers. All of them, well, were dancers.
Yeah, they not cutting the rug right at this moment.
They said
They
it's
can
still in their hearts.
they know they don't need to do that no more.
No, and we don't need them to do it no more.
Nah. They said y'all know us now. We just act.
Oh my
and
God!
they
One
act
of
when
the
they
ladies
want
my
to.
girl.
Huh?
Is one of the ladies my girl? What's her name? That was on Cruella. I cannot think of her name right now.
You talking
She's in
about
so many
you talking
things.
about the Devil Wears Prada?
No.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's some of my mix up because I run them all together in my head.
I know you're not talking about Meryl Streep.
No, but I'm saying that's
That's what I was to say.
no. I'm like, because I'm saying I promise you,
in a whole bunch of stuff. She was in Harry Potter. She was in Cruella. What else was she in?
you talking about the lady who plays Minerva
Who was Minerva?
in Harry Potter?
I just
It's
know
only-
she was in Harry Potter.
Well, that's not. It was a couple main women in Harry Potter, so you got to kind of narrow that down a little bit.
Oh my gosh. Why can't I think of her name?
Name something she was in. I bet you I can find it.
I just did.
No, but you didn't. You said it. You said it in a vague way. I can't narrow it down.
Okay, she was Cruella. She was in Cruella. She not the main girl.
Obviously not. I know you're talking
It was
about not
Cruella. She was the villain in Cruella.
Cruella's boss.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I cannot
got
think
you.
she's been in so many things.
You hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I got this new phone that's a little more zippy than the old one.
I know when she was on
Hers is zippity
SNL,
dippity.
she did a skit with Leslie Jones.
You talking about was Emma Thompson? No, was Emma Thompson?
Yes,
Emma
yes, her.
Thompson.
No,
Was
Emma
she-
wasn't one of them.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying these.
They're older.
Older,
Yeah, I'm
older.
trying not to use the word older, but you know. That's why I kept saying they're all dames.
Yeah, Emma Thompson isn't. She's not at that point yet. She's not at that stage yet. But I love Emma Thompson though. Emma Thompson wasn't in Harry Potter. Yeah, she was.
Yes, she
Yes, she
was.
was. She was the seer. But I always
Yeah.
forget it's her because she don't look nothing like herself. How they have her costume. I always forget it's
She
her because
is
she got
so
them big
hilarious.
glasses and that hair look crazy. And I'm like, oh, there is Emma Thompson.
Remember that clip I showed you with her and Leslie Jones when she was on SNL? She was trying to teach Leslie Jones how to drink tea.
Yes,
She kept
yes.
slapping her.
That's another person I didn't know that was that funny until she was on SNL because that sketch is hilarious. But I'm trying to figure out these names Renee talking about because I'm like I know some of them, but I'm like some of these I'm going blank.
You gotta watch. What's his name?
Maggie
Edward.
Smith is the other one. Maggie
Yeah.
Smith, Judi Dench,
Yeah.
Helen Mirren, and I'm trying to think of what the other one.
Okay, I know all those.
Oh, it's called Tea with the Dames. That's what it's called.
What is that on?
Hulu. Well, it was on Hulu. Let me see if it's still on there now.
I don't like when they take stuff off. You get excited about it. I'll be watching Tea with the Dames because I like stuff like
Joan Plowright is the other one.
I don't know if I know her.
You know her when you see her face.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? Edward. The talk show host that's English. He be having. I
think he just go by Ed Norton. I don't think he go Edward. I don't know what you're talking about. He got a lot of people on his too.
I don't think his last name is Norton though.
Edward, is it? I thought it was. I know the show you're talking about though.
You know what I'm talking about though.
Yeah.
The dude that be having five or six celebrities on that.
At one time, yeah. That's something like I know the guy you're talking about. I know the guy, whatever his last name is.
Oh yeah, they took it off Hulu, but it's on Tubi though.
Oh, I know Joan Plowright.
Yeah, I know. It's like when you see her face, you'll know who that is.
Maggie Smith was on Harry Potter. She was in Harry Potter. I think Joan Plowright might have been in Harry Potter.
You know what? When I watched the documentary, they've all been in a lot of the same stuff together.
That's so cute. That's the power of coming together.
She's 93.
Yeah.
Jonas up there.
Yeah.
See, that's the power of being able to just cuss and say filthy things.
Exactly.
I care. You're not holding nothing in, and you get to live longer.
They like, look, we could die tomorrow. Ain't got time for that.
Because their mouths are horrendous.
Yeah,
I'm trying to tell you, when you watch it, you're like, whoa, dang.
Well, that's how people felt when they got to know the real Betty White, because after a certain generation, everybody only knew about Gone Girl's Betty. So that's what people thought Betty White was. And Betty was like, oh, that's cute. That's cute.
Precious.
No, that's Rosie than me. That's a character.
Have you ever heard B. Arthur? God.
Yes. Well, people weren't surprised as much about B. Arthur.
I was, to the degree that I heard B. Arthur. I was like, Lord.
Oh. I think the person that surprised me was the dad from Full House.
Ooh,
when I heard his stand up,
I was not ready for him.
I said this, and that's what he was like. People were like, when they saw him cast in that role, people that knew him thought that was so hilarious. They was like, that's the role he cast in. They was like, that's what he's playing. Okay.
See, I'd never heard him before.
No, they said that. They said that and Home Movies. They said those, when he was doing both of those, people that knew him were like, y'all don't even know. And then when I first time I heard his stand up, I was like, oh, I can't watch this. I'm sorry, I'm too young.
I saw the one before he died, and I still feel like I was too young.
I don't think I've ever watched one of his full stand ups. I tried. I just was like, it's too much. It's too much.
I had to take a shower after, but I heard it.
Right. I haven't watched the whole thing, but I knew him first as a dad from Full House. So watching his stand up kind of messed me. I didn't I saw like a little bit and was like, this is messing me up. I can't.
Yeah.
He got to be the
Yeah.
dad.
I know when I saw his Comedy Central roast, I was confused because I was like, these jokes about him are like way, way out there. And then I like learned more about him, and I was like, oh, I guess not.
No, I was like, oh, no wonder. His roast makes so much more sense. It makes
Yeah,
so
I
much
got
more
it. I got
sense.
it now. I got it. I got it.
Oh,
I
I
got
didn't
it.
see his roast.
His roast is funny, but
Yeah, his is one of the ones that is funny.
yeah. Rob Lowe is
Okay,
funny too.
we over here calling this man Ed. It's the Graham Norton show.
Grandma. Ed Norton
We
is an actor.
is the actor.
Yeah,
We talking,
a
yeah.
whole different actor.
I knew one of the names wasn't right.
The first one, because I was right on the last part. You was wrong. Graham Norton. Graham. Sorry, Graham. My bad.
And
I,
he's
Ed.
he's funny. Graham
he is
Norton is
hilarious.
funny.
He's
He
hilarious.
is.
Because
He is.
and his cat, like people on there, like he be letting them say whatever. Like you can tell they're like a lot of people he has on the show are way more comfortable on his
Yeah,
because he let them just
be them.
be
Yeah,
them.
and there's
Cause yeah,
alcohol involved. And he said that who was he talking to? I think he was talking to Seth Meyers or Stephen Colbert recently.
mm,
And he was saying that because he has so many celebrities on at the same time, like they kind of compete with each other to be funny and
you can tell they feed off each other.
share like funny stories, because they were saying like a lot of celebrities share a lot of stories like you never would hear nowhere else on
Hmm.
his show. And that's because he said they're just he doesn't have to do much because they're celebrities kind of have egos, so they're all fighting to be like the most interesting. So he don't really have to do much.
Hmm. You can tell when you watch it. You can just tell they feed off each other. Like he'll say something, and then one guest will say something, and the other guest will say something else, and then this guest will say. It's like you can tell they just all just like if most time you forget what they even on there for. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot they doing a movie. I forgot. Yeah, but I'm like, yeah, I haven't watched his like. What again? I don't watch a lot of late night stuff anyway, but I have watched some like clips of people that I like that are on there and stuff, and I'm like, you can just tell it's just they can tell they have fun on there. Like you can just tell they have fun. Now I know you were telling me you were talking about some other stuff you saw today, not today, but you saw recently that happened in the news. Was it news or was it social
Okay,
media?
it's two people that passed,
Yeah.
and two people that were. I'm not to say other people that passed were insignificant, because there was a lot of people that passed this week, but
Yeah.
it's two people that passed that hit me in certain ways. One was Jerry Springer,
Hmm.
and the other one was Harry Belafonte. And they hit me in two different ways for two different reasons. So Jerry Springer was like, I don't want to say the end of an era, but it just made me remember like how much of a pioneer he was, even
Definitely.
though he was a pioneer that was misunderstood and maybe not as celebrated as much as he should have been, because he really was a pioneer. And to go from the industry that he came from, which I think he was a lawyer and a senator,
Hmm.
and then
He was a mayor of
he was a
Cincinnati,
man. Yeah,
or
and then
council. No, he was a councilman, I think. But yeah, he was a
uh-huh.
governor. He was in government.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like I think that he really was a pioneer, maybe he and a visionary. Maybe he saw and understood things that the future of things that maybe we couldn't see, because without Jerry Springer it wouldn't be, Maury's show wouldn't have been so successful, and Steve Wilkos wouldn't be, so successful. And I don't like watching shows like that now as an adult. But
Hmm.
it was when Jerry Springer came out, it was something new and something interesting, something different that we never saw, because we were used to like Oprah and Sally Jesse Raphael and Phil Donahue and Ricky Lake and Jenny Jones. We was used to all that. But then Jerry Springer comes out and it's just what everybody else was trying to keep from happening on their show. He just let it happen. Like everybody else was like, no, we're not going to have any of that fighting. No, we're not going to have any of that arguing. And even he did try to stop it at first, but then he was like, just let it go. Let it happen. Let's see what happens, It really seemed like it was nothing he could do about it anyway. So
No, they were going to fight, and then it's like the more he did it, I think my issue became when he was like egging it on and getting people.
Right.
It became
yeah.
it became less. Oh, this is just organically happening because people are mad, and more
Yeah.
like you're behind the scenes creating extra. You're doing more than and it just became like I'm not watching this. I'm not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As an adult, it's hard to watch because it's hard to watch all that craziness, and then it's orchestrated, and then everybody that comes on there is not telling the truth about their situations.
No, and some people don't even like. When I was watching stuff and it was like, oh, like former producers and stuff, they were like, some people didn't even know. Like you think everybody knows. He was like, some people didn't know what they were walking into before they hit the stage because we wanted it to be explosive. And I'm just like, see, that's the kind of stuff. Yeah, that's nah.
Yeah. So even though it's not in alignment with my goals or it was still
it was what it was. People watched it. People wanted it. He gave people what they wanted.
Yeah. And so I just think that I think that he probably went through a lot of people putting him down because of where he came from, and then doing this. But even though it wasn't a pioneer for something positive and uplifting, he was a pioneer for creating something new.
He was. Because what's that? Steve Wilkos came from that.
Yeah, Steve Wilkos came from that. Yeah, and Maury couldn't. I really don't think Maury being because Maury wasn't always you are not the father. He wasn't.
He wasn't either. He became that.
Right. So yeah, I just want to say that about Jerry. It just made me think about sneaking and watching Jerry Springer when we were on where were we? We had just moved back to Michigan, and what it was like 11, 12 watching it.
Yep. Lincoln.
Yep, Lincoln. Yep, sneaking and watching it like, ooh, these people crazy.
You know he wasn't supposed to be watching that. Yeah. I remember the sneak.
Ain't no way they was letting us watch that.
Was he sick? Did he just was it?
He had pancreatic cancer.
He
had pancreatic cancer, and he was the mayor of Cincinnati for 1 year. But he died from pancreatic cancer, and I wanted to say something briefly about that because I've mentioned previously that I was diagnosed with multiple forms of cancer, and the last cancer I was diagnosed with in 2021 was pancreatic cancer, and that is the third most aggressive cancer that a person can be diagnosed with. And it usually does move very rapidly and very. I was blessed that actually, I think a month ago now, that I went into remission with pancreatic. So out of the 5 cancers I've been diagnosed with, that one has gone into remission. So it's now only diagnosed with 4. That was one of the ones that I was really the most concerned about. So I understand, and it is very painful and very hard to deal with. So that kind of touched home for me, and I really felt that, and I even understand why he wouldn't want that to be public. But I do know when I saw him on The Masked Singer last year, he did not look healthy, and I wasn't sure if that was just his age. But
now you know.
And I can even understand because they asked him why he wanted to do it, because he wasn't a good singer. And nobody was expecting that of him, but he just said it was something he wanted to do. And I'm now wondering if that was just kind of like
doing a bucket list on his way out.
Because he already knew he was sick. He just didn't want the public to know.
So he did kind of like what Chadwick did, like His family and everybody knew.
Well, I
But
don't even like hearing Chadwick.
Or
I don't
even
even
like
want
person
to
I'm
hear
thinking about, the SNL cast member I'm thinking about though, he was sick for 9 years.
are you talking about the guy that he used to do the weekend update?
Yes, but I'm going
I
to
know who
look
you're talking
like
about.
Norm
Norm
McDonald.
Norm
Macdonald.
McDonald. That's who it was.
That's what you. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
He
Okay,
he
was
now I
was.
sick
know
for
who you're
He
nine
was.
talking
years.
He
about.
was. Now he was sick for a while, and he didn't tell anybody.
It was 9 years, and he
Yeah.
just didn't want nobody to know.
Yeah. Now that I do know. That I do. He was sick for a while, and he was just like, and because that's what like a lot of people was like it was out of nowhere, and a lot of people was like, no, it wasn't. Not the people that knew. He was one of
So sorry, Kevin. I didn't mean it. But
that man is
this is
pale.
now. I'm
He
gonna
is
tell you.
69 years old. He is pale and healthy and
I
living his
said I'm
best life.
sorry.
We now gotta watch weeds to make it up to Kevin.
No, I'm
Sorry,
not doing
Kevin.
that. I'm really not doing that. But
Sorry, Kevin. Sorry.
now this is a result of chemo brain, and I really do struggle with that with my memory really bad. So that's a whole other conversation for another day.
Well, you just knew it was an older gentleman from Saturday Night Live.
There's an older white man in
Now,
America.
I can understand why you would. Like I'm saying, it's not like I can understand how you would confuse me because I'm like we ain't sitting around talking about Kevin Nealon or Norm Macdonald that much. So
I think
you
they're
you
kinda- I
had
do
the
think they
you
kinda-
had the area, you had
I
the
think they
address.
are SNL similar.
They was SNL alums. I think he was on Weekend Update too. I mean, they that's all right. It's all right. It's
Yeah,
all
now go
right.
ahead and edit all this part out.
And
Just
be like,
skip
please, let's go come back in. Norm Macdonald. It's gonna come in. It's gonna be like we're gonna be talking. Norm Macdonald.
You remember
Yeah, because every time we say Kevin, it's gonna be Norm Macdonald.
you know how they edit the movies, the rated R movies on like USA,
Right.
and they'll be like,
oh my gosh.
they'll be like saying like MF, and it'll be like Miller Pickle.
Oh my god. And
Would you get the freaking crap out of here?
I think Miller Pickle might have been a word. It's been some ridiculous. It's
They
been some
will say
ridiculous.
Literally
editing.
remember watching a movie, one of the Richard Pryor movies, and he was cussing at somebody, and they were like, "You Miller Pickle."
Okay.
Right. They don't even get nobody to sound the sound.
I would
It's
rather
like-
you
the person.
just not let that go and just bleep it than Miller
I
Pickle.
was
TBS was
so-
good for that.
TBS was worse than
Yeah.
USA. TBS was worse than USA because
And
TBS
it was clearly a white
TBS
guy.
would not only edit out the cuss word, they would edit the movie down so much.
You haven't
Right,
seen
it'd
half
be
the
20
movie.
I'm like, where's the rest of my movie? Because like the first time it was like there was like this one movie that I had already seen, like the real version. They was like TBS is playing this movie, and I was like, what is where's
Try to watch Friday on TBS.
where's the rest of my team?
I don't even watch movies on like
No.
I don't even watch movies on like TBS, USA, TNT because I'm like I'm not getting the whole movie.
TBS is the worst by far because they try to be so
Yeah.
family friendly. USA and TNT
Are those
Are
channels
little-
still there? Like, are
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
on?
and they will
Yeah.
take an hour and a
Yeah.
half movie and it'll be on for 3 hours.
and it's just they just do ridiculousness with it. And I'm just like, if you can watch the real thing, just watch the real thing because you're just gonna be mad because it's not even the same movie. Because it's not even and like they do so much editing. Because they say when the movie come on, this movie has been it's like a whole like, warning, like a disclaimer before the movie even starts that they put on before them. It's like this movie has been cut down or edited to fit into like it's a whole disclaimer they put before they movie. If they doing that, skip it. Just skip it. Don't go watch it somewhere else. Speaking of watching somewhere else, I just got my email for the Max switch for HBO Max.
Oh, was it time?
The May 23rd. They're doing the switch, so they're about to combine everything.
That's the second. That's the second switch, right?
Second switch. But the difference between this switch and the last switch is I was able to watch it because I had paid for HBO. They were like, "You'll get it, you discount because you already got HBO." So I paid for it, and they was like, "Got ready for HBO Max." I was excited. I'm like, "Yeah!" Went to go do it, and they was like, "Oh, it's not available in your area yet." I was like,
I remember that.
so I was paying for HBO Max for like way too long before it was available. But at least with this one, it's just they're just putting like all of the channels that the company bought. So like
Oh,
Discovery, um, Home and God, like all of those networks will
mm-hmm.
be on Max. That's why it's not
That'll be
called
good because I paid for all
HBO
that
Max.
stuff, so that'll
So
be
yeah,
cutting
so
my bill down.
a lot of the stuff that was separate, you can cancel your subscriptions and they'll be there. Like when I put my Showtime with
Showtime on
Paramount
Paramount,
Plus
yeah.
because they're together now. So I'm like, there it's like $12. So I'm like, put them together because that's how I was able to watch one of my all-time favorite movies, Everything Everywhere All at Once all the time, sometime yesterday and tomorrow. Not the whole time. I just say that because it's the word, the way they phrase it. It's everywhere, everywhere. That one, but that is on Paramount Plus. But like
Well, it got Sister Girl an Oscar.
and she deserved it. She deserved one for Crouching Tiger, but y'all was overlooking the sister because it had subtitles. I know what y'all did because it was a foreign film, so she deserved
I
one
did
for that.
not know that was her.
Michelle,
It seemed like
yes,
I did not know. I was like, oh my, because that was my movie.
girl,
Okay.
I showed mom the one of the fight scenes from this movie because and she's 60 right now. She's 60. And I showed mom the fight scene, and mom, she was like, "So you said I can do it?" I was like, "Yeah, go ahead." But I was like, she should have been getting accolades, but because she's been in so many foreign films, she doesn't get acknowledged in the U.S. like she should. Because she's always been one of my favorite fighters. But you got to find the movie she's in because I think I'm not sure if she's in the sequel to Crouching Tiger because I watched it, but I don't remember. But like she was amazing in Crouching Tiger, but
Now, is it in the U.S.? Does she do mostly comedies?
no,
I don't
well.
know. I don't know. I haven't followed all
Well,
of her
because
work.
I
I don't
wouldn't call
know.
this movie a comedy. It had comedy moments, obviously, but I wouldn't necessarily call it it would be a dramedy. But like a lot of foreign people, they kind of
Well, she wasn't comedic in I'm about to
the
blank
movie
out again.
the movie
The Good and Evil
reviewed.
movie.
No, she wasn't.
Which
Uh,
movie?
uh, the one review, the school was it School of Good and
School
Evil?
of Good and Evil,
You
yeah.
didn't have a lot of words in there either.
I know. I was
No,
thinking because my first thought was the Garden of Good and Evil. I was like, nope, don't say it because that ain't right. I
no.
already messed up once tonight.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you like her, you all have like my thing is this: if y'all when y'all watch, because y'all have to see this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I would just prepare to be close to the TV and be focused because it's not subtitles for the whole thing, but they do switch in some scenes that they're not speaking English. So you just gotta.
I gotta get my prescriptions first then.
Oh yes, because we all need glasses, but I'm the only one that wears mine all the time.
And Shawnee, do you feel a breeze flowing through your house? Does it feel shady?
It was supposed to be. It was
A
supposed to
little
be shady, so
brisk?
I
Does
hope
it feel cool?
it was supposed to be shady. So
Yeah,
I hope you felt it. It was supposed to be shady.
I felt a sudden draft. But
It was supposed to be. So I'm glad y'all picked up on it. I'm glad you picked up on it.
Okay, because it just
you need me and my eyeballs to my alone.
But I will say, like, they deal with so much mother daughter relationship in a fantasy, not sci-fi, fantasy world. So I'm like, I know I got stuff because I don't have children yet. Y'all do have children and daughters specifically, so it's just like it's a lot of stuff going on in this movie. And her husband, it's a scene but towards the end almost made me cry. I was like, this man, you stop it, sir. Her husband was just like you would thought he was one way to the end. You just realized, oh no, he's just a cinnamon roll. Oh, toot toot. he's just sweet. So, but like it's a lot of it's a very good movie. Like I want y'all to see it. Like I definitely want y'all to see it
You said
whenever
it's
y'all
on
get
Paramount
time.
Plus.
I believe that's where I think it's on Paramount, not Showtime. I think it's on Paramount.
That's on Showtime.
Is it Showtime? I thought it was Paramount. Because it's all got mine together, so I couldn't
It's on
tell what I was watching.
Showtime because I tried to
Okay.
watch it on Showtime.
Okay. Do y'all, hit me up after if y'all need assistance. But yeah, I definitely think y'all.
That was for her sisters because you're gonna have somebody
Hit me up after if you want to. You get ignored. That's not how we
But
roll.
you had said if
To
I
my
need
sisters, to Leela and Chantel and me. I
Not
was not
Leela.
talking to y'all. No, no.
you better make it plain.
Are you one of my biological sisters? No? Okay, well then I wasn't
I was
talking to
gonna
you.
say you better make it plain. People be like, we all sisters.
Did we come from our parents together, Dwight and Bernadette Elijah? No? Okay, then I wasn't referring to you then. That
Right.
clears
Were
that
you
up.
in the Pastor Bernadette's womb?
Woomba.
Just break it all the way down.
Were you in her Woomba?
Do we all share the same Danas? If we don't have the same Danas, I don't want to
We
hear
ain't got
from
the same Danas. I don't know your
I
Danas.
don't know your Dana. You don't know my Dana.
Mm-mm. We got the same Dana. Mm-mm. We all look alike too.
Yeah,
No, I don't know
same as
you.
Wonder Woman. What?
Hmm. But I know you. Who else did you say?
Harry Belafonte. Now Harry Belafonte hit me like that
I
was.
was not expecting that.
I
First of
should
all, I ain't
say
gonna lie. I didn't know he was still around for a little bit.
I did. I honestly did, but I do know that
Stop.
once Sydney passed, it was kind of like because they were like brothers.
They were.
That it was kind of like you kind of knew he was
How
gonna
old was he?
93.
About?
93 or something like that.
Oh
Yeah, so you
wow.
kind of knew, and Sydney was in his 90s too. You kind of knew
Hmm.
that he was gonna go not long after Sydney because he took Sydney's death very hard.
See, I couldn't imagine.
They came here together,
Yeah.
and they came here together. And if you know their story, like they literally lived in the same flat together in New York and had to learn English together, learn our dialect
That's so
because
adorable.
their
From the-
accent was so strong they couldn't
Yeah.
get jobs, so they would practice our.
For the longest time, I didn't know Sydney had an accent.
Yeah. Do you
I know
really?
Harry did because he did a lot of
Yeah.
stuff with his accent. But for the
Yeah.
longest time, I didn't know Sydney did till I saw him like when I was an adult. Now, I ain't talking about like recent, but I was
Yeah.
an adult and I was like, I heard him do, and I was just like,
Yeah. He really had kind of talked out of his, but when he would relax, you could kind of hear it. But
which explains how
yeah.
his diction in movies, why it sounds, why he
Right.
overpronounced
so
stuff,
articulate. Yeah.
because he had to be. He had to
Yeah,
be to
but
get
they would
that.
practice with each other because when they came here, there was literally only one job per black man. So either Sydney got it or Harry got it.
Exactly.
That's really how it went. So I kind of knew once Sydney passed or transitioned, I should say, that it was kind of win with Harry. But still, and it's ironic 'cause I just saw something recently with his daughter Sherry Belafonte, who acts too recently.
There's
and
some stuff I used to watch with her growing up.
Yeah, that made me think about him. So it was kind of like, okay, so but it's still he's an icon, he's a legend, and he definitely will be missed, and he's a part of our history, and he won't be forgotten. That's for sure. But he's with his best friend again now, so
yeah. Every time I think about John, my husband loves the movie Beetlejuice, and every time I think about Harry Belafonte, I think about that table scene on Beetlejuice, and but it's something else that Harry Belafonte passing made me realize that we had to have cognitive dissonance. Like we have to understand, like, even though he was a civil rights activist leader and he was a pioneer with Sidney Poitier and but it's like as black women we have to understand, like, it's sad, but a lot of our black civil rights leaders like Sidney Poitier and Harry Belafonte and even James Earl Jones, like we look at them as like, well, they're pioneers, but they didn't really like black women. They didn't really like black women.
It wasn't even that they married, because I'm not a huge thing of if they don't marry black, they don't care. But they actively, it wasn't just that they married not black. They actively didn't care nothing about black women outside of that. Like it was just like, ooh.
Well, let me say this about Sydney that I know from Diane Carroll's mouth. that
Yes.
they
Mm-hmm.
were
What
absolutely,
what did Sister Diane say?
they were absolutely in love and planned to get married. They were both coming out of marriages,
Hmm.
and but at the
That's
time
another
for
gorgeous black
them,
woman.
that
Mm-hmm.
at the time for them in Hollywood, number one, with them coming out of marriages that would have been so scandalous, and
It
black
would have
people couldn't afford scandals. And
no
he was, and she even said he was the black man put on such a pedestal.
Sydney.
Yes,
He had to, yeah, he had to be the
um,
idyllic, perfect black man. He had to.
that the night of the Oscars for him, she was supposed to be his date, and she didn't even go because it would have been such a major thing, because she actually was not totally out of her marriage. And he
When
wanted her to come.
Diane Carroll is the issue, you know it's the issue in America.
Yeah. And so because he wanted her to come, but it wasn't just her being black, it was that it would have been, you're with this woman who's not
Fully
divorced.
divorced. Yeah.
But so I can't say that him specifically didn't,
Yeah. Hmm.
because she said, I watched a documentary with her, and she said we were so in love, and they
I can
stayed.
only imagine a Sydney and Diane Carroll relationship.
Girl, talk about power couple.
Girl.
He didn't
Girl.
treat her right. Y'all watch Ashley Say So?
Huh?
Okay, well, I watched this lady named Ashley Say So.
I watch. I don't watch as much
Okay.
since you when you're not around. I just don't go back to it.
Well,
But
okay,
yeah, I
so
know.
let me tell you.
Okay,
Okay,
what did
he
Ashley
might
say
have.
so?
Okay, so Ashley said they would have been cute. That's definitely true.
Beautiful
But
black people.
not treat her right, and he
Okay.
was jealous of her.
Oh, okay.
You think so?
That's from
That's what Ashley said. So
That's what Ashley said. So,
you gotta say it. That's what Ashley said.
so
So
they might have had some deep look. But what happened was Diane saying that Diane was in love with him. Diane was really in love with him.
now that does
According
make
to
sense.
Ashley Say So.
Now
Diane Carroll was in
looking at
love
her
with Sydney,
phrasing
but
that way,
Sydney
yeah.
thought that he could do better. And so they might have had, some special moments. but Sydney thought he could do better. And Eartha Kitt had a relationship with Harry Belafonte.
Yeah, I
And
remember that.
Eartha Kitt said he's told her that it's nothing that a black woman can do for him.
Left a that's a nice taste
Right.
in your mouth.
Why did my
Tasted,
I
tasted nasty.
almost said something, but I would just say part of me just kind of just tightened up and retreated.
Your sphincter.
Nope. Further north from that.
That's what I'm saying. Like we can
It was just like, oh no.
we can acknowledge
Yeah.
acknowledge that what they did that was good, but we can also acknowledge what they did that wasn't so good.
Yeah, and that's
And
what I was
this,
like when you
yeah.
first told me that that's how I felt. I was like, I can say I applaud specifically because we're talking about Harry, all that he did fight for. I can applaud what he did, what he helped with, what he believed on that front. And if we're having that conversation, I'm going to have that conversation of the civil rights, that conversation. But if we're just having a conversation about him, well, as a black woman, I don't appreciate that.
Right.
No,
I can't say, yeah, like I can't just lie to him just because he helped black people as a whole, but being like, but black women. No, I'm not going to make sense for that. He was wrong for that. You was wrong for that, Harry. But if we're just talking about this conversation, well then he passed, so I'd rather just say I appreciate what he helped us get as a whole, and had that conversation on the other stuff when it's needed. It's not needed right now.
So let me just add this or ask this question. And I don't appreciate it, and if I say something else, then that's going. All right.
Careful. Watch yourself.
Breathe through it, girl. Breathe.
You gonna make me think about that what SNL sketch when they was talking about was it Beyonce, and they was like, careful. Careful. careful.
Some of my personal positions and beliefs, people would be kind of surprised that I personally have. So I'm
Mhm.
just, let me just say this. I wonder, I believe Harry Belafonte said that, and I believe a whole lot of people say, believe probably similar. And I
Yeah.
am one who thinks it's just really interesting how many relationships are and become interracial. But I will say this, considering his age and the time era of like him and Sydney,
Mhm.
I wonder, and these men came from the islands,
That's
right?
what people didn't remember. They weren't
Yeah.
African American.
They come
Mhm.
from the islands where they came from a whole different culture. So
Mhm.
did you really believe that, or were you groomed into that and that became your belief system? This is the only thing I would say specifically about those or that particular man, because we're talking about him, would be the
Yeah.
only thing
Mhm.
I would question.
Well,
And
Yeah.
because exactly what island? Where was he from? Going blank.
aren't they from Barbados?
Okay. Well, what about Sammy Davis Jr. Because he believed the same thing.
Well,
Oh,
now I
but
think now I've already voiced what I think about Sammy Davis Jr. and I've been very open about that. And it starts with a C word, and I'm not going to repeat it again.
yeah, I like growing up. Like I just saw Sammy Davis Jr. as like a very entertaining.
Starts with a C, ends
Is
with
with a no
N,
no 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 no
and
no.
rhymes
It is
with
what
lose.
Yeah, because like, and my thing is this: is if you don't, I put it this way: if you don't think that, you are welcome to not think that. I'm not gonna force what I think on you, but I do know I didn't think that growing up until I saw a lot of the live Rat Pack interactions and
Mhm.
how they treated him and
Right.
how he would go along with it
go along with
and
it.
Right.
tap dance like that. I was like,
It's
oh,
nauseating. It's
oh, this is not
nauseating.
cute.
Because when you
This
hear
is
the
not cute at
story, it's
all.
like, oh, they stood up for him. Okay, they did do some things for him, but it was still like know your place in
That's
this
I'm
group.
like, look at some live Rat Pack
You got to
stuff.
finish that, Shauna. It's know your place.
Mm,
Nah.
hard on, and I'm like, that's what I'm saying. It's like when I watch some like live clips of their live things they would do as a Rat Pack, I'm like, ooh, because I grew up seeing movies, so
hmm
that's
Right, that's different.
different. So it's like when I saw I was just like, this this ain't this ain't it. Like you can see how they treat, and it's like obviously they wasn't calling him the N word and whatever on stage.
I wasn't hanging out with them.
No,
I don't know.
I was saying on stage. I'm saying on
Oh,
stage.
okay. I said I don't
So
know what
like
they were
obviously they
saying in
They
weren't.
their little
call him
dark
other
crevices
stuff
and
though.
corners.
That's what I'm saying. Like they weren't outright. Like if you don't know history of things, you'll miss what you're seeing. But
Uh-huh.
like they treated him
The
like,
Like the
Bahamas.
like
Sydney was from
the
the
like
Bahamas.
the N word.
yeah, they
Yeah.
treated him like the entertaining black dude. Like they treated him like what it was, and he went along with it.
Yep.
And
And so did
I
Nipsey
don't know
Russell.
anything about him ever saying he he didn't like it till he died. Like he could have said it to people that nobody recorded, but I never like he went along with it. So I can say it's wrong, but I'm like I can't jump on my soapbox and attack all the rest of the Rat Pack because
He let it
why
happen.
am I attacking for
He was
his benefit?
grateful. He was so grateful. He let it happen.
So it's just mm, I know what I think, and I
He
didn't
made they
appreciate it.
made him marry they made him marry a black woman, and he kept the relationship with a white woman. And so like his marriage to a black woman was just for show.
Mm-mm. Sorry, something
I'm
flew at my
looking at
eyeball.
the Wikipedia on Sidney Poitier, and I guess he was open with Diane Carroll. They was together from '59 to '68.
Yeah.
Cool.
But listen
Okay.
to Ashley though. Listen to what Ashley say.
Oh,
What she
no.
say so?
She said so. You see what it
You
did,
know,
Not
right?
getting into that. I'm not getting into that.
but I will
I'm not
say
getting into
it did.
that.
That's what I said. I will say, when I found out he passed, I didn't expect.
It was
I
sad because
wasn't
when we was
ready.
little, we watched so much of his movies.
We
So
did.
many of
Yeah.
his movies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like you have to give respect where respect is due, but you always also can say this is messed up too.
Because wasn't he in the? I don't know if it's the original. Because I say original, and it could have just been a remake of a version in my time. But the another version of Carmen before the one Beyonce
Was
did.
he in Carmen?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah,
which one was he the?
the one before Beyonce.
The original. And the one from
I don't
1954.
like watching none of them Carmen movies because I always cry because she was not supposed to die.
She died, though, dude. She died. She died. Yeah, because I remember seeing that. That's all. Only reason I don't say original because I say original some stuff and I find out it's like 3, 4 different versions before that.
No, he was in the one from 1954, the original.
Okay.
It was made for him and Dorothy Dandridge.
Dandridge. Okay, I can see that. Okay, so as
They
they say,
didn't do her right though. Either.
good Lord, no. Rest in peace, Harry. Just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. And I know, let's see. I don't know if Shawnee's back yet.
I'm here.
You was telling me something. I'm gonna say it because that's how I think about it. You was telling me something about Clarice.
Oh, that just makes me so tired.
He's so
Don't it
draining.
though? Don't it though?
This is like,
Because how old is he now?
he older than us. He
old.
older than. Yeah, do with them Coca-Cola.
Because he was an adult when that came out, and I was not.
I was in love with him in them little Coca-Cola commercials now.
But when he started talking, that's what the problem was.
We're the same age. He's 45.
Too old.
He'll be
Too
45
old
in
for this.
December.
He's too old for this foolishness. He'll for this foolishness.
Yeah. Conclusion: too darn old. But so he is crying again. Remember the first time he was crying like, "It is my baby."
Yes. Yes. And I was like, dude,
trying to
stop.
get sympathy. Anyway, so he's back in court for child support, and before the judge could rule on his case, he called the judge racist on social media, I believe. Before the judge could make a judgment, the person who was in charge of deciding how much money he's supposed to pay out, he called him racist.
Why?
And now he's mad he didn't judge in his favor. Oh, well, I wonder why, Tyree.
And thing is, we'll never know if he was gonna get it or not now because you had to open your mouth.
Because they said behind closed doors, the judge was calling his ex-wife the B word. So he probably could have been about to judge in his favor.
We will never know.
Since he publicly said he was racist, he don't have no other. I don't have no other choice. I'm sorry, judge or not.
And I'm like, how is he racist? Like, my thing is, if you're going to call somebody racist, why? How are they racist? But I'm saying, but I'm saying, if they were legitimately racist during your case, right? Like, if they were legitimately, provably racist during your case, that's one thing. But you can't just throw it out there and be like,
Tyree's got issues, man.
And then he keep being surprised when they don't want to work with, like, why Fast and Furious ain't, like, rushing to work. Like, don't want to deal with you, dude. I'm tired of dealing with you.
He seemed annoying from every movie that I've ever seen him in. He plays like the annoying person, and it's like, even on social media, he plays the annoying person.
When he went off about The Rock, and he went on his whole social media tantrum talking about some we family. No, you are not. Y'all acted together in a movie franchise. They said, The Rock, do you want more money to do another movie spinoff separate? The Rock said, yes. That's what happened. Y'all, he over here acting
Wow.
like he went in Tyree's house and tore up his stuff and was like, I don't care about you, dude. Like,
Tyrese was
Rock was
on
doing his
things about
own
that. He
stuff.
always
Like,
crying about something.
even Vin Diesel didn't get mad. Like, Vin Diesel had to come out and be like, do you?
I
Go
saw that
ahead.
last. I saw one of them last movies on I don't know. I think it was on Netflix. Vin Diesel. Why
They're
does his
super,
face look like that, man? Like why does
they're superheroes now. They're not even driving cars. They're I don't know what those movies are
anyway?
doing right now. Anyways,
Tyrese is always crying. And when they reported it, I watched them talking about it on the Breakfast Club. DJ Envy and Charlemagne said they got voicemails of Tyrese they haven't listened to yet because they too long on their phone.
and I got my own issues with Charlemagne, but that's sad.
Right.
Well, they just like we don't want to.
You
We don't
just
want to deal
knows
with
it
this.
just but Tyrese must just like to hear himself talk.
He always complaining about something. He's always complaining about how somebody did him wrong, and I'm just like,
Right.
at your age,
It's
you
for my
need
baby.
you need to take a step back. Like you can't be mad that everybody always doing me wrong. Like, no. Mm-mm. Now, because I said now, we want to get Clarice out the way, get him out the way. He's out the way. I know Renee had a topic she wanted to talk about that was way more important and serious.
Right, right.
Listen to this.